Well, hello there. I understand that you're interested in learning about the Star Wars Card Trader app because you like Star Wars and you heard about it. You saw a commercial on one of your favorite podcasts or what have you. And so you said, hey, I'm going to check this out. So welcome. My name is Greg. I'm also known as Ted Salas in the app, and I have been there forever. For as long as the Star Wars Card Trader app has been there, I've been there day one. Mr. Ted Salas, day one guy. So anyways, I've learned a lot. I'm always learning more. And I hope to try to help you learn some stuff today. So let's go ahead and dive in and get right into the app. Okay, so here we go. We're now in the main screen for the app, which you have seen, and there's a lot of things that you've probably already poked at and gone to and things like that. But let's take a harder look at some things maybe you've missed some things. So there's a lot of things that you can navigate to right from the front page of the app basically, but some things that may not be so obvious are things like your profile, which if you go to the top where my little screen name is there, Ted Salas, my fan name, and tap on that, it's going to open up my profile. Now every single person in the app has a profile, and it all has these same pieces of information lodged there for you to look at, and you can learn a lot about your trading partner, which is the strategy that you should be looking towards in terms of building trades that you hope will be accepted, because that is the goal. That is the entirety of this game, is to collect stuff, complete sets, win awards, and wave your trophies around at everybody. So if we look at our profile screen, there's a lot of information right off the bat that we can see in mine. You'll see some cards shown in the middle here. These are cards that I have marked as favorites. So these are cards that I really like, and I'm kind of showing off. I'm kind of like anybody that goes and looks at my profile, hey, check out my sweet swag. So that's what I've got rocking there. And then there's a lot of things in terms of information about me and the kind of things that I've done in the app. Say, for instance, in the trophy section, if we go in there, we can scroll through and see literally every set that I have ever completed on this account. So there it is. So let's go back to the profile here, and we can just hit that little thing at the bottom and go right back to the profile. So there's some other information in terms of things right on the plate there. It shows me how many cards I own. So I've got a lot of cards, 550,000. That seems excessive. Come get some cards. And then I'd also see things like my trade rating. This is an important one in the bottom right. So there's two parts to that number that you should pay attention to when you're looking at a trade partner. And a lot of this is hanging right out on their face when you see them on the fan feed. So you're going to see a number. Mine's 15,074. And then you're going to see some stars. And it looks different in different places. If we go to the fan feed and take a look, we can see this fella here, DOG30. He's got 5 stars right now. He's doing pretty good. And if I tap and I look at his profile, well, I see he's only got four trades. But he's off to a great start. That's better than most people you see that are just starting out. I see a lot of folks with a couple of trades under their belt, and they're rocking like 1 star. So great job to them. So if we go back to my profile and poke around a little bit more, those two numbers tie together. So you see a trade rating like me, maybe a little bit of little scotch of badness in there. With 15,000 trades, I think that's a pretty good rating. If you saw somebody that had the same number of trades with, say, 3 or 4 stars, that's kind of 4 is kind of marginal, and 3 can be pretty bad. And down from that, fuck them. Don't even send them a trade. Don't bother. That's literally what your reputation is shown as in the app. It's right out there on your faceplate in the fan feed. So it's something you have to be careful. You want to try to trade well so that your reputation marks look good. And you want to try to be personable to people and things like that, so that people like to trade with you. There's an aspect of personality that goes with this as well. All right, so what else have we got here in our main page? Collection score. Collection score is a really funny number. It's really very hard to gauge what that number means, because you'll see people with really high numbers and you look at their collection and there's just not that much there. It seems to be a system that still hasn't been resolved in terms of how it's supposed to work, because it's not working properly. But the higher the number, the better, basically, is what that's supposed to tell you. So somebody who has a collection score in the hundreds of thousands is going to have a much wider selection of cards that you may be looking for than the average Joe on the street sitting down here at like 10K, 5K, things like that. So it tells you what you'll be looking at. It also weighs into how experienced that person is going to be. If you're approaching a collector that's got 10,000 trades under their belt, number one, there's nothing that's gonna fool them. They're gonna expect a little different level of trade savvy, or at least value thrown. So watch for that. It is something. There's great selection, but also those big old collectors can be cranky little assholes. I know I can be someday. So that was collection score. We also see our followers, how many people are following you, and then how many people you are following. Following used to be called the friend list, which was a much better name for it, I think. But basically, this is a section where I have added people to my friend list, and these are people that I trade with on a regular basis, or that I know, or have some kind of friendship outside of the app, even in different places. So these are folks that I've all traded with in the past and found to be excellent traders, and so I want to keep kind of a Rolodex there. Unfortunately, there's no note section. It would be really nice to know exactly what some of these folks from way back when, why was it that I added them to my friend list. But sometimes just by looking at their stack, you can say, okay, that's the guy that really liked Captain Phasma, or that's the one that really wanted to collect Kylo Ren, and things like that. So it's usually pretty easy to figure out exactly what was going on there. So out from there, back to our profile, you'll see like a little pencil icon here. If I tap on that, that is going to open up the avatar section, and that's going to let me change my avatar in the app. Previous to this build, there used to be the capability of uploading a picture. You had your own picture that you could have. So everybody was completely different. You hardly ever saw the same avatar twice. Now in the new version, we have this prefab version where you earn avatars as you go along through activities, through completing sets, and things like that. So you will start with a limited supply of avatars. As your experience and activities in the game grows, you will gain more and more of those, and you'll be able to personalize a little bit. And there is a really, really wide array of avatars available. I don't have all of them, but I've got tons. And there's always opportunities around to earn and do these things through missions and things like that. So you'll be able to change your look pretty quick. So we'll go back to the home screen from there. And there was one other thing I wanted to show in the profile section. There's a little gear here. If you hit that gear, it's going to open up the settings menu, and that's going to open up various options for you. One I do recommend that you put in is receive emails. There's a promotional email that usually goes out once a week that will give you a sneak preview of a few things that are coming in the coming week, so that you kind of know, okay, maybe I need to budget some coins towards this or that looks interesting. It just builds interest in the app and things that are coming in the week going forward. It also is a way that they can contact you in terms of support requests and things like that, which you will also find on this screen. So there's a number of different things that you can see that are useful to turn on or turn off. If the app is running very badly for you, you may want to turn a lot of animation settings and things like that, anything that you can, off to simplify the load on your machine that's in your little pocket there. And then if you've got performance mode, rock it. I highly recommend it. definitely recommend from time to time go in if things are a little funny, or say your card images aren't loading or things like that, or you're not getting pack animations, any number of things where something just doesn't seem to be running right in the app. It's a great idea to refresh the local images, and you just hit that button and it'll take a few seconds, and then it basically just wipes out the cache. So now every time you go to look at something, it's a fresh fetch. So if something is changed or something's updated, sometimes that is why that glitch happens and you don't see anything. So that can straighten out problems that you're having with viewing and things like that. And then you definitely need to go and say, don't sell my info. You're probably going to end up giving these assholes money. So don't let them sell your info as well. Go ahead, go to that thing, opt out of that, and keep that to yourself. And with that will be the end of part 1, the main screen and navigation. So back at our main menu screen, we're going to go ahead and navigate out, and we're going to take a look now at the card sheet, and then we're going to drill down into actually looking at a card and getting some information there, because this game is about getting information and using it to factor in what you're going to do with trades. And the more information you have, the better. And it's all out there. So here's how to find it. So we're going to go to, there's a little button down here at the bottom, brings a pop-up view. We're going to go straight to collection, and that's going to take us straight to the card sheet and show us all the cards that we have in my collection here. So first, right off the bat, let's look at tiers. Now, there's 2 different types of cards. There are base cards and base variants, and then there are inserts. So inserts start at the legendary tiers, the rarest, down to the common, which is the most, it's common, it's dirt, okay? And then down to the base tiers, we have the tier 10, which is your rarest. That's where your 1 count cards sit at, all the way down to your just very dirt common base cards. Now, there are exceptions to these rules, and these tiers are not hard and fast. These are not laws, and there are a lot of things in here and a lot of factors beyond tier card count that factors into value. So all tier 10s are not created equal. All legendaries are not created equal. So just cool your jets. So, and I always like to say tiers. What are they good for? They're absolutely nothing. So that's a cool reference that I just made because I'm hip, fellow youths. So let's take a look at a card now. We're going to drill down into what kind of information is available on your average card. So we're looking at some base tier 10 cards here, and one of the things I see is a commemorative set from 2015 of the 1977 cards. And there's old Luke Skywalker. Look at him, looks so happy and young and fresh. He's loving life. So right off the bat, in the sheet view, you're going to see what's called the thumbnail. And then when you tap on that, it's going to bring up an expanded view that gives you a better look at the card itself. So if I go back to how did I get all out of the mic there? All right. Look at this one. So you're going to get a lot of information right off of the expanded view. It's going to tell you how many you own, number 1. Then it's going to tell you how many of those cards exist. That doesn't necessarily mean how many are in circulation, but it's how many of them were created. Then you have the tier, the rarity. This is a legendary. And then you have a number of little icons here on the bottom. There's things like, if I wanted to try to find another copy of this, I could, if I wasn't locked, could tap that and it could show me all the available copies of that, or at least copies that people have that are unlocked. So out of these 20 some cards, only 4 of those are showing as unlocked. And I know a couple of those accounts. Lord Bella, that's a dead account. Bye. So I'll put the lock back on that bad boy. So the other thing is the wish list button, where you can basically add that right to your wish list. You can also bookmark it, which is a useful thing for building your own little binder sheets, really, for various purposes, for screen capping or whatever little nerdy thing you want to do with your collection. It's a way that you can kind of customize something. And then so we're just going to stay there. And then I've got my much more expanded view, which basically just pops it out a little more and gives me a clean shot if I wanted to screenshot or something like that. And then the eye view. The eye view is where all the information is on this card. So that's going to give you the title of the card, the number of the card, which is useful if you need to open a ticket for any reason on the card. The release year, is it sold out or not? Sometimes cards will show as for sale, but they'll be out of packs and not available for whatever reason. So that's kind of a glitch in the system. It shows you global count, and it shows you collection score, which is the weight of the card in your collection. That contributes to your collector score, your force score. And then the limited edition count. That's when a card is set for a certain number of cards to be produced, and that is all. And a card where that isn't listed, then it's sold for however long or under whatever conditions until they're done with those, and then they mark them sold out at some point. They often forget. That's why I say there's oftentimes things say they're still for sale. It's just because they're not really sold out. Hey, I don't want to know about that. Okay, so and then it shows you the name of the set, Explore the Galaxy, and there's a little chain thing here at the side on the right. And I'm going to tap on that. It's going to take me to a set view, and that takes me out and it shows me the whole set, gives me a checklist of it, and then if I go out to variants, it shows me the binder view, basically what does this set consist of and how am I doing. It shows me a checklist. So 3 of 3, got the award, everything's rocking, hooray, I win. So going back to the card view again, and we can get all that information that we just had a second ago from a little pop-up here in the same place we went to collection view, sets and awards. If we hit that, and then if we go, it'll show you all the awards that are coming up soon. These are things that are all going to be awarding soon. So in 3 hours, I'll be getting an award on Civilized Age, which, wow, that's really fast. And then if I go to the set view, that's going to show me my most recent updated set. So anything that I added to recently, usually going to pop right here. Now here's a little tip. If you tap on that My Sets, you'll see a drop down that shows all sets. All sets will show you anything that's been updated most recently. There's a way you can sort for that. It's basically by most recently updated. So if you have it set to sort like that, about 10 minutes before the top of the hour, say on 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when things tend to drop on Star Wars, you can have a little look-see, and sometimes you'll get a sneak preview and see that a set is coming, and you can say, oh, okay, that's got gilded in it. I need to buy some crystals, or that's a set that I'm interested in. Let me make sure I fire up the alt, or what have you. So it's a little way of getting information, little sneak preview there. So that's basically the information that you're going to see on a card. Now weighing that is a whole different world of things, of tying the information of who is this guy, what is he like, what is this card, what is it worth, what is its count, how rare is it, how much does he like it, all those things, that's the X factor. So we'll try to quantify that more in the next lesson, but that's all for the sheet view and card view.